Eagles, Niners, winners in the Super Bowl. The quarterbacks, unprecedented in terms of youth. Hurts and Purdy, both under 25. First time in the conference championship or Super Bowl that has ever happened. Meanwhile, both quarterbacks might have a hard time moving the ball. The Niners and Eagles are first and second, respectively, in total defense this year. Both are just a hair over 300 yards per game. And the Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite. Could spell trouble for San Francisco. Jalen Hurts is 20-3 in his career when his team, Philadelphia, is favored. And right now, as we go live to the man who knows more about the Eagles than absolutely anyone, I would like to begin by saying congratulations to our friend Sal Palantonio, who will be inducted into the All Sports Museum of Southern New Jersey Hall of Fame in March. How about our guy Sal? We love it, and no one could deserve it more. So welcome, Sal. Good morning, as always. And let's talk about your quarterback over there, all right? We got the shoulder with Jalen Hurts. We were all worried about it last week. It looked absolutely fine. How are they dealing with that injury heading into this game?
And, Michael, there's no indication that he re-aggravated it or re-injured the right shoulder. But when I talked to Nick Sirianni late Saturday night after the presser outside the coach's locker room, I said it looked like you really did a good job of focusing on protecting that right shoulder. He said, yes, 3 ways. Number 1, avoid contact by sliding early. Number 2, avoid contact by getting out of bounds early. Don't take on any contact. And then when you do go down, turn your body so that you land on your left shoulder. They drilled that during the week. They had pads where when he went down, he practiced going down on his left shoulder. Sirianni told me that is something that Frank Reich worked on with Andrew Luck in Indianapolis, and they focused on it last week, and they're going to focus on it this week to face a very good San Francisco 49ers pass rush.
That is fascinating. I mean, the level of detail that these teams go to in these moments. So let me ask you a question that we brought up here earlier. How would you describe what is at stake for Jalen Hurts? I mean, the season has been so good. Solidifying his position is not even what we're talking about. But as far as his standing in the league, he's got a contract coming up. He's going up against one of the best defense, maybe the best in the sport, for a shot at the Super Bowl. What's at stake for Hurts this weekend?
Well, a lot is at stake for Jalen Hurts because he wants to go to the Super Bowl. He wants to take this team back to the Super Bowl. But best be assured, Michael, that his future is secure here no matter what happens on Sunday. But let us extrapolate it out, as we like to say. If he wins the Super Bowl, don't worry about the money, Michael. They're going to have a statue at the Art Museum with Jalen Hurts next to my guy Sly. No disrespect to Sly Stallone. Love my man. But right next to Sylvester Stallone, right there at the bottom of the steps at the Art Museum. And he's going to get a big, fat, guaranteed contract. This team took care of Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, Carson Wentz. This team is going to take care of Jalen Hurts. I can guarantee you that.
Okay, excellent. One win or lose. So let's talk about how they win. We talked about the Niners defense. It's #1 in the NFL. You got Nick Bosa, who's maybe as good as anybody at getting after the quarterback. What do we know about the plan?
Well, we talked to offensive coordinator Shane Steichen yesterday, and he noted that Nick Bosa lines up, even though he is listed on the depth chart as the right defensive end, he lines up about 50-50. On the left side and the right side. He said when we get to the line of scrimmage, we've got to be aware of where he's at all times, and we'll have a plan for that. But I got a great stat from Hembo just a little bit while ago. He said, you got to run it, Nick Bosa. Yes, he's got 18.5 sacks, but his run block win rate is 185, which is 21%, 185 at a possible 191 defensive ends. He said the Eagles running a zone read against the Giants, and this is Hembo's word, great word, I'm going to use it, I'm going to steal it, diabolical against the Giants. So they'll be running the football against the Niners. Thank you, Hembo, for that.
If anyone would know diabolical, it's Hembo. It's in his soul. Hall of Famer Sal Paolantonio. Thank you, Sal. We will check in with you as the week goes on, getting set for really a fascinating game there in Philadelphia. They played so many NFC Championship games. You think back to the McNabb era, the Andy Reid era, and here it comes, something brand new. So good to hear him say, look, he's going to get the money. That's all going to work out. How does he beat this team and go to the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Well, one of the interesting things that they have is 2 great tackles. So, like, Nick Bosa, go wherever you want. You're not going to find a soft spot on that on that offensive line. And I do think that they win by running the ball and by zone reading, or by doing RPOs. Because the 49ers want to play zone and blitz on 3rd and longs maybe occasionally. In zone, it's impossible in zone because the decision right there makes you wrong in zone. Man, you're going to have to force them in the man. And once you force them in the man, that's when you really win. Go deep on the outside of the edges. So it's a pretty obvious game plan. It's the same thing, frankly, that the Eagles been doing to every damn body all year long.
Yeah, and so give the fans something to watch for, Chris Canty. You played on that defensive line. We know that Jalen Hurts has the ability to kill you with the run and with those run-pass options. We saw that he's healthy enough to do it, and they are willing to do it. So what are the most important things to watch for early that will tell you, oh, the Niners defense is winning this, or Hurts is winning this?
Who wins first down, Greeny? That's what it's going to come down to. Because these defenses are deadly when it comes to 3rd and long. The San Francisco 49ers, they're 16th in 3rd down defense, but when you extrapolate that out, 3rd and 8+, there have been 120 instances of that 49ers defense going up against opposing offenses, only 20 conversions by opposing offenses. So you can't get in 3rd and long against the San Francisco 49ers defense and expect to come out on the right side of it and sustain drives. So it's going to come down to who wins first down. And to Dom's point, that run game, that zone read with the quarterback could be a big factor in terms of figuring out that outcome.
No, Sal has the Eagles for us. Kmart has the 49ers for us this weekend. So what are we looking at here?
I think this game is going to come down to which quarterback is able to be themselves, the same quarterback that we've seen all season. The thing with Brock Purdy, when I had them a couple weeks ago against the Seahawks, everybody from the front office, the coaches, teammates talked about how this is the most poised rookie I have seen. The Eagles have to be able to get him off his spot. They got to bring pressure. They got to make him uncomfortable. You talk about Jalen Hurts hasn't seen a defense like this. Well, Brock Purdy hasn't seen this Eagles defense either. And I think for the Eagles side, when you're looking at Jalen Hurts, you want him to be able to be that dual threat guy. But you also have to contend with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Like, if there are any single coverage matches, like if there's anything deep, like you've got to take advantage of that, and the 49ers have to be aware of that.
It's funny, you brought up the Philadelphia Eagles defense because the Philadelphia Eagles had 70 sacks.
Yeah.
3rd most in NFL history. They got 4 defensive linemen with double-digit sacks. We talked about last week when 49ers were going up against Dallas. If Dallas can put this on Purdy, they got a shot. I think the same thing applies again this week. Make Purdy beat you. If it comes down to that, if the Eagles shut down the 49ers run game and put it on Purdy, let them horses loose on them.
Look, San Francisco scored 1 touchdown last week, and they had a penalty and all this stuff that helped them get there. To me, the questions are all about the San Francisco quarterback in this game, not the Philadelphia quarterback.
Yeah, and that's the point. It's like the San Francisco has a great offensive scheme. They have great players, and they have a quarterback who the best thing that people can say about him is he's poised. And like the one criticism that you hear about him from inside the 49ers organization is that he gets a little wild. He gets a little full of himself. He tries to do a little too much. And I think that when you get in a tight situation, that's what the Eagles want to see, is they want to see Purdy try to become a superstar on their watch, which I don't know that he can be. He's been serviceable up until this point. And, I mean, frankly, that's probably disrespectful. He's been good up to this point. Yeah. But if they need him to be great, which is what we're always talking about, there comes a time in everyone's playoff run where the quarterback got to do something special.
Yep.
And Purdy, that time hasn't come for Purdy yet. If it comes this weekend, I think the Eagles win.
All right, coming up, we promised D. Wood that we will get back to this, and thus in Eagles, Niners, winners in the Super Bowl, the quarterbacks unprecedented in terms of youth. Hurts and Purdy, both under 25. First time in the conference championship or Super Bowl that has ever happened. Meanwhile, both quarterbacks might have a hard time moving the ball. The Niners and Eagles are 1st and 2nd, respectively, in total defense this year. Both are just a hair over 300 yards per game. And the Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite. Could spell trouble for San Francisco. Jalen Hurts is 20-3 in his career when his team, Philadelphia, is favored. And right now, as we go live to the man who knows more about the Eagles than absolutely anyone, I would like to begin by saying congratulations to our friend Sal Palantonio, who will be inducted into the All Sports Museum of Southern New Jersey Hall of Fame in March. How about our guy Sal? We love it, and no one could deserve it more. So welcome, Sal. Good morning, as always. And let's talk about your quarterback over there, all right? We got the shoulder with Jalen Hurts. We were all worried about it last week. It looked absolutely fine. How are they dealing with that injury heading into this game?
And, Michael, there's no indication that he re-aggravated it or re-injured the right shoulder. But when I talked to Nick Sirianni late Saturday night after the presser outside the coach's locker room, I said,